everybody. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. And I hope wherever you are in the world, you have a very happy, safe, healthy new year. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be participating in some New Year's celebrations. And there are some of us that we just like to be quiet on New Year's. I know for my part, since I'm by myself and I'm completely fine with that, it's just going to be a peaceful, quiet night. And I'm completely cool with that. So I am going to do a react to Foodie's short defensive video called My Final Decision. And she's incredibly defensive and snarky and just grumpy all over the place, talking about Salah. She said she's made her final decision. She's going to stand by her man, and that's it. And it's her marriage. And she even cites reasons why she should stay in the marriage, citing that she is strong for staying in the marriage. Like, yeah, that's the spin she's putting on it. She's a strong woman, and it takes a strong woman to deal with a cheater and stay in a marriage. But before we get into the video, and before we get into the stuff on Twitter, because I want to do that stuff first, because there's some interesting stuff there. Y'all, we have an exclusive. There's a hidden microphone over at the Oceanside Villa. And so we get some sounds piped in from the villa. So let's just listen into some of the sounds coming in from the villa. Ugh. Okay, I think we're going to cut off the hidden microphone. I think we're going to cut off that hidden microphone. I don't think I want to hear anymore. Yeah, like we're done. Like whoever put that microphone in the bathroom, how dare you? No more hidden microphones in toilets, okay? All right, so you know what? Let's get into the Twitter stuff, because there are some people giving their thoughts there, and I want to share those thoughts. All right, so oops, wrong one. Hold on a second. Let me get to where I need to be before we switch over. Okay, very good. All right, so for those of you that want to join me on Twitter, there is my Twitter handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And if you're on my channel and you want to get all the notifications for live chats, for videos, you might want to join me on Twitter, because sometimes, don't know why, YouTube, they drop the ball on notifications. So if you want to make sure to catch up with all the newest videos and live chats and the tarot readings, you can join me there. So let's start here with, is it DaytoDay Ray? Now, Skinny Queen, the channel Skinny Queen, she did a live chat and she paneled up with Salah's friend Allah. And Allah had some stuff to say about the whole situation with he and Foodie. And I found this interesting, so I'd like to play it for all of you. DaytoDay says, I know a lot of people don't believe or like Allah, but I believe this part. Well, let's see what the part is. Let's see for ourselves.
He is not married to Chantal.
100,000,000%. She don't have civil ID in Kuwait. She cannot go in the court and married. Anyone in Kuwait, they know this. Anyone in Kuwait, you ask him, he cannot do anything if he don't have civil ID.
So that's interesting. You know, Foodie is not a resident of Kuwait. If she were a resident of Kuwait, instead of being on a tourist visa, why would she have to keep leaving the country to do visa runs? If you are a resident, you got a civil ID, couldn't you just stay there? But she's not staying there. She keeps coming home. So if she's on a tourist visa, I don't think she can get married in Kuwait to anybody. I don't think you can do that legally with a tourist visa. So that was an interesting part, courtesy of Skinny Queen and DaytoDay Ray. Michael B. Petty says, here are more statistics, Foodie Beauty, on the odds of your perpetrator cheating again. The odds are not in your favor, and let's be honest, that Beezer was not the first, and she won't be the last. Where there's smoke, there's fire. If there's one woman that a person is cheating with, there's probably more that you don't know about, and you probably will never know about. Just because he nukes all of his social media accounts that you know, I'm sure he's got a backup. He might have a burner phone. He's certainly got to have burner accounts. Even if he doesn't have them, he'll make them. You know, he's just going to be a bit more careful next time with the stuff that he shares with other people. But let's look at the picture that Michael has provided. Let's see. Someone is 3 times more likely to cheat if they have cheated in the past. A person is 2 to 4 times more likely to be cheated on if they have been cheated on or have suspected cheating in a prior relationship. Well, that's Fraudy. She's a cheater. With BB and with Pete, she cheated on both those men. And considering that Salah has been with other people and we know about it, he'll probably do it again too. Men and women are equally likely to cheat or be cheated on. So there's like no more greater than the other. Like either one can go either way. So keep that in mind, Fraudy, since you're making videos where you're pulling up Google stats, trying to find some kind of defense for yourself. How about these stats? That someone is 3 times more likely to cheat if they have cheated in the past. You know, like once a dog strays off the porch, it probably won't come back. It'll always go look into other neighborhoods for food. A person is 2 to 4 times more likely to be cheated on if they have cheated, or if they have been cheated or have been suspected cheating in a prior relationship. Well, in that respect, both Salah and Fraudy are both equally guilty. They're both serial cheaters. So, hey, perfect match, right? Okay, so on to Katie. Katie says, I can picture it now. Chantal gets back to Kuwait and tells Salah, let's do everything you wanted to do in those messages together. And he's just like, no thanks. Well, I think it's very telling considering how Fraudy has come online and degraded herself. And with everything that we know about her and Natter's relationship, like the lengths that she went to make Natter happy and the perverse desires that he had. Why didn't he go to Fraudy? Why didn't Salah go to Fraudy in the first place? I mean, this woman has come online and absolutely degraded herself in every way, like flashing her body, being gross, very profane. It does beg the question that if you have these dark desires within yourself and you know of someone that they are not afraid to go dark, why wouldn't you go to them? Unless maybe you don't physically feel attracted to them, like you're not feeling that energy, you just something in you just says no. Why was he going to other people? In my opinion, I feel that Salah just part of his kink, and there's nothing wrong with having a kink as long as everybody is on board with it and it is consensual. I think part of his kink was for his kink to work for him, the woman has to be attractive to him in some way. You know, like that's part of the appeal, is taking a woman that you feel is extremely attractive and doing the most degrading of things to her. So if he doesn't find Fraudy attractive, if he is not attracted to her, then in his case, the kink would not work. I mean, the queen of degradation and having a humiliation fetish, and you're not going to her, there's something to that. But just because she might be open to his fetish doesn't mean he's going to want to do it with her. And if he is not getting his bells ring with her, he's going to do it with somebody else. He might put it off for a little while to make her feel comfortable, to make her feel like he's just forgotten about the whole idea. But eventually those desires are going to come out. Hidden True says, I do believe that she can be very dangerous, talking about Chantal, and is highly capable of such behaviors, even if people think she's not smart. Enough that she has you fooled. It's people like her you have to watch out for. Well, I believe that on an evil level, Fraudy is smart. As a matter of fact, she did a live stream where somebody asked her, have you ever thought about Natter leaving you for another woman? And she said, I think about it all the time. And then she said, I've got a plan. I'm not as stupid as you guys think. Trust. Something about an Aries. And we saw what happened after that live stream. She went to the cops, not because of any wrong done to her, but because she was angry that Natter rejected her and she wanted to be near him and Dee Dee was there. She didn't do it out of a sense of wanting justice for any kind of wrong done to her. She was just trying to find a way to get Natter all to herself. That is the links that she will go to be with somebody, that she'll blackmail you, she'll threaten you. And on that note, thinking about that, now that Salah has made these texts to Kybella and they're all over the place, what's to stop Fraudy from using those texts as a threat or blackmail and telling him, if you ever try to leave, if you give me any kind of trouble, I will go to the cops with these texts. I'll report you. I'll have you arrested, because what he has done is an arrestable offense. A $5,000 Kuwaiti dinar fine and jail time. What if she tries to use that as leverage? She might. She might be keeping him on a short leash when she gets back and going through his phone and tailing his every move and using that as a threat. Although, thinking about it, if she is supposed to be a newly reverted Muslim woman, by revealing that, would she also get in trouble? It's just stuff I'm thinking about over here. But I would not put it past Fraudy to threaten the most dire of things to someone in order to hold on to them or to keep control of them. Indy says, LMAO, just like she did with Natter. On average, it takes a woman about 8 times to go back to her blanker before she leaves. Yeah, so she's, again, quoting stats from Google in this new video as a way to defend herself. And she did that also with Natter, because people kept getting on her case about you're going back. And then she tried to use a defense of, well, on average, it takes about 8 out of 10 times for a woman to get away. Like, she's just looking for any kind of sword to pick up to aid in her fight. And it's just not working, Chantal. It really isn't. Okay, so that's it for all the Twitter stuff. It was kind of a brief visit today on Twitter. So let's go on over to the video, and she's all kinds of defensive. She is so defensive. But I love that for her. I love the fact that she's annoyed. It's entertaining. Hey, it is what it is. We love defensive Chantal. We love this. We love the spicy meatball. Okay, let's get into it.
What a long break that was. I've been gone for half a day, I think. All right, so I'm going to talk about this whole situation that obviously I don't even have to mention what it is. So if there's one thing I regret the most, it's impulsively coming on here and doing that live stream talking about my private matters online.
I don't think you regret it. See, your problem, Chantal, is that you need therapy. You said in the live stream that you've got people in your personal life that you could talk to. I don't know who you're referring to, but you said you had people in your personal life that you could talk to. It's really strange. You will talk to those people offline where you could say anything you wanted to and nobody would know, and you could just have a heart-to-heart conversation. But you'll get online in front of strangers who are not your family members, who are not your real life friends, that can't help you, and you'll blurt out all your business. So I don't think you regretted that live stream at all, because there were elements in that live stream where, in my opinion, in your own subtle yet not so subtle way, you were warning Salah, absolutely warning him that he better come to heel and he better obey and he better not give you any trouble, because if he did, there would be consequences. You were warning him throughout that live stream. There were different moments where it almost felt like you were issuing veiled threats. And we've been trying to tell Salah for the longest. Like, you don't know this woman, Salah. You don't know how wrathful she is. You don't know the lengths that she will go to get back at people. Okay, she'll use her channel. She might even use the law. But he's going to find out. At some point, he's going to want to let go, and he's going to find out. But you do not regret that live stream, Chantal. There were several reasons why you did it. The first reason that you did that live stream, you were basically trying to calm the Beezers down that were upset with him. You were trying to build up his image. Same way you did with Natter. When people decided they didn't like Natter based on the things that you were telling them very awful things about Natter. And if you continue to want to see Natter, then you would tell the audience things like, you guys don't know him like I do. We have a different dynamic offline. He's such a good guy. And what we're going through right now is an exact same photocopy of the same situation, except with a different person. When it suits you, you will put somebody down and you will paint a really dark image of them. But also when it suits you, if you want that person back, you'll try to rewrite the script. So that live stream that you did, you were saying he's okay and I love my husband and I want to go back to him. And Salah was in the chat and he was on ghost mode where nobody could see him. And he was watching the chat and deleting messages. And he was just there listening to try to get a feel of how angry people would be with him and when it might be a good time to come back. So that live stream served several purposes. It was you getting some stuff off your chest. It was you calming the Beezers down. It was you like just talking to him and issuing threats. I mean, there were several things going on at once.
I can assure you with regards to my marriage that will never happen again. The internet, especially when you are me and you have dozens of vultures waiting for any scraps you throw their way, the internet is not a place to open up if you want a healthy relationship.
You know, Chantal, I am so sick of you calling the reaction channels vultures. When we do not go into your live chats, we are not in the audience. I mean, you guys see on my channel. I will play the chat portion with the video whenever possible. You guys can see the names that are scrolling by. There are no reaction channels in there. We are not in there bullying Chantal or picking on Chantal. We stay on our channels and we react to her. We give our thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and anyone who's welcome to give their thoughts, feelings, and opinions can do it in our live chats or in our comments. But nobody bothers Chantal. So this big old hypocrite, she calls us vultures at the same time that she goes all over Twitter, all over YouTube, gets in people's chats, gets in people's comments. By the way, Chantal, aka Charles Reed, hi. Yeah, you've been in mine too. She's always looking around for scraps of anything from the reaction channels that she can react to, that she can comment on, because she doesn't come up with topics for her own live chats or her videos. She, in her own strange way, is a reaction channel because she's reacting to what we do and what we say. So you want to talk about vultures? Man, you're the biggest vulture of all, because you never come up with original content, any original ideas. You borrow off of other people's content and ideas, sometimes even their intro music. Again, hi, Chantal. You know, you don't do anything on your own that's uniquely you. So you can stop with all that vulture talk nonsense.
I learned that the hard way so many times. Regardless, all would have come to light anyway, but my reaction could have been to have handled it in private. So I had a decision to make. I had a lot of thinking to do. I've been unable to sleep, only thinking.
You know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you've been able to sleep. Nobody cares. Why is that important? Are you trying to paint this pathetic picture of yourself? There's a fly that is just getting on my nerves. Cut it out, Mr. Fly. Dang it. Sorry. The flies in Oregon are much too friendly. I hate it. Leave me alone. Okay, let's go.
about it when I try to fall asleep and just feeling alone and far away. So I'll just come right out and say I've decided to make my marriage work, and I will tell you why. Number one reason, just plain and simple, it's the fact that I love Salah. I love him.
No. You don't love Salah. You need Salah. You don't love people. You need them. And sometimes you need them to death. You're too needy. You're too clingy. You're at a point now where you can't function by yourself. You don't know how. You're in such poor health, you literally could not be alone. And even if, say, you were at a healthy weight, you don't know how to be alone, Chantal. And I think it's more of a pride ego thing. You know, like you put all your eggs into one basket, you just got that one egg left, and you're not going to let go of it, even though you know you should because it's rotten. You gave up the villa, you gave up Peach, you gave up the cats, you gave up your life in Canada, all your roots in Canada for him. You literally bet everything on one number, and even though it's a losing number, you're not going to let go of that number. It's a pride ego thing, because without Salah, what would you do? You'd be completely alone. No home. Your family, I'm sure they're not happy taking care of you. You've got no income to even get a motel room because you keep paying in your car. You got nothing except for that little bit of something, and you're not letting it go.
On a level which I have never loved anyone before because of how he treats me. Every single emotion, no matter how
You know what, Chantal? You know the message that you're sending to Salah right now. You know what you're saying to Salah by forgiving him so quickly and going back so quickly. With every video that I've seen you do since this whole thing broke, you keep saying the same things over and over and over again. He's so nice to me. He's a gentleman. The message that you're sending to Salah is, because you're such a gentleman, because you've never been rude to me, because you're so nice to me. Nice with me goes a long way. If you're nice, you can practically get away with murder. You can cheat on me. You can lie to me. You can sext up other girls. I will forgive it all as long as you're nice to me. You've given him the formula to be able to get away with everything. Just be nice to her. Just be nice, and you can do anything you want. You'll have her completely fooled. Now he knows what to do.
It may have looked to some in our couples videos, they were real. Edited, yes, but real. This man opens doors for me, the car door, every time we go somewhere. I've never had to open a car door. We are together 24/7 when in Kuwait, and he treats.
Please stop. You're together 24/7. Well, then how did all those texts happen? How did all those messages happen? If you have said that you're always on the phone with him, you're always around him, how did that happen? I told you, if a man wants to do the dirty deed, he'll find a person, a place, a time, an opportunity. And this person, Kai Bella, that's just the one you know about. There's probably more. There were probably women before her, and there will be women after her, because he's a 30-something-year-old man. Okay, you're an older woman. Your lifestyle is sedentary. He's much more active. He obviously wants to go out and be active and be amongst his friends and party. You're not that person. He can't have that kind of fun with you. He can't have fun with you outside the home, and he can't have that intimate fun with you in the home. So, you know, he's going to seek out the kinds of fun that he wants with the people that he wants to be around. And obviously it is not you. And you need to accept that you are not the one for him. You may look at him and say, he's the one for me, but he's not feeling that way with you. And I'm sure it has to be especially humiliating that you will do anything for a man, absolutely anything. And yet, even as low as you go, as much as you're willing to degrade yourself for a man, And him knowing that because he came to your channel and he saw everything you did, he still didn't go to you. So no, he doesn't love you and he doesn't want you.
Treats me like a queen. I've never felt safer. I know you will all laugh at that, but I'll get to that. And I've also never felt more provided for and loved and cared about in this particular way. Which brings me to the treatment. I mean, it's royal. I am treated like a queen, and he has never once been abusive or yelled at me or anything.
You know what's funny you say that? How did BB treat you? BB was a good guy. He was hardworking. He was a great guy. Didn't BB treat you really, really, really decent? He did. He treated you nice. You guys were together for 5 years. I can't imagine being with somebody that long unless they treat you well. You were with BB and you still cheated on BB. You were still talking to Peach. You cheated on BB with Pete and Pete with BB. So BB treated you well. You didn't appreciate it. You cheated on him. Now you're saying this guy treats you like a queen. But yet, you're still having thoughts about Natter, and you know you are. You're probably still in contact with Natter. And he's been with other people, so it would seem that neither one of you is happy with one another. You both have other people on your mind.
So to say just because he has a fetish, he is an evil man is just not true, because the proof is in him treating me amazing for over a year. And I did know about some fetishes he liked, but it didn't really go anywhere. And we just adopted our own intimacy style.
Hold on a second. I got to play that part one more time.
Go anywhere, and we just adopted our own intimacy style.
Did you know about these dark fantasies of his? Because you claimed you did not know. And I find that very hard to believe. Like, now that all this stuff is coming about Salah, some things are starting to make a little bit more sense to me. Like, I was wondering for the longest, why would Salah choose to be with you? Of course, the automatic feeling was it was for the money. But it was also the question of how could he put up with someone like yourself, that you are unhygienic, you're dirty, you fart, you burp. Like, why would a man like Salah put up with that? And then we found out what we did about Salah. So now the question is, did he choose you on purpose because of his certain fetishes? Was it a fetish thing as well as a money thing? Did he pick you just for the reason that he's got some degradation fantasies and you've degraded yourself and you haven't stopped? You may have toned it down a bit, but you've not completely stopped. But is that the reason why he's with you? It's fetish related. Like, he's treating you like a fetish. I don't know. The two of you would know. But if you are his wife or his partner, you're saying you're only going to go halfway with his fantasies. I don't know what that means. And honestly, I don't want to think about it because that's just gross. But honestly, Chantal, if a person wants something, fetish-wise, interest-wise, intimate-wise, halfway is never going to make someone happy. Settling is not going to make someone happy. If they want 100% of something, they want 100% of something, not 50%, not 75%. Even if Salah does stuff with you, it doesn't mean it's going to make him 100% faithful. A cheating heart is a cheating heart. He may do stuff with you and other people. He may do stuff with you just to do stuff with other people, just to throw you off track. Oh, he's doing it with me. That means he's satiated and satisfied. No, that's no guarantee. There's no guarantee he's not going to other people. You know what he is now. You know what he's done. There's no trust. That trust is broken. It's gone. It's not coming back. So what's left? Your insecure, jealous nature, which is going to take over and lead to a lot of fights. a lot.
I don't judge him on those fetishes because in his real everyday life, not fantasy, he's an amazing man who would not hurt anyone. Well, maybe he would kung fu a few dickheads, but yeah. So, I mean, my next main reason is because in Kuwait, I do feel like a princess because of how loving and attentive my husband is. The next thing, this is a one-time occurrence. I'm not naive and will say for certain it will never happen again.
Did you hear the way she said that? It will never happen again. Translation, it better never happen again. It better never happen again, especially publicly, or you'll feel my wrath. That's a threat to him. That is an absolute threat. It will never happen again. I will never deal with this publicly ever again. You better not be public with this, Salah, or I'm going to just let you feel my wrath. Do you hear that, Salah? She's mad. She's mad at you. Not so much for your fetishes, bro, but the fact that all of this stuff has been made public, and now it's going to be the joke of girl world for the next year. From 2024 to 2025 or beyond that, it's going to be a joke. And we're never going to let her forget it. We're never going to let you forget it. Like, this is going to be the talk of the town for the next 365 days. So she's mad about it, the fact that this joke is going to be something she's never going to be able to live past.
But if it does, I'm prepared to deal with the consequences. I want to give another chance. Nothing has happened like this before because, well, I just have my ways of knowing, which I won't go into.
What ways do you refer to? Are you talking about when you were with Natter, you would make up fake accounts trying to catch Natter, making up all those fake phony names on Facebook, trying to chat him up? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're going to do to Salah? That if you find out he has an account, you can make a fake phony profile and try to chat him up? You know what, Chantal, even if you did that, let's just say you made up a fake profile right now, at this very minute. Put a picture on it that was not you. Start chatting him up. And he started talking sexy to this profile, meaning you. Started saying all kinds of sexy stuff. You still wouldn't leave. Because where are you going to go? Where exactly are you going to go? You don't have a home in Canada. You can't live with your family full time. That's obvious. You get kicked out during the daytime. And you don't have any money to save for an apartment because you spend it all on Salah and Natter. But you have nowhere else to go. You put yourself in that corner. Nobody put you there. You did it to yourself. Salah's the only thing you have left. So even if you caught him cheating with another 100 women, you still wouldn't leave because you're just that desperate and pathetic.
But even the screenshots that were revealed between him and this skank show Salah saying he has never talked to any other woman, etc., etc.
Little fact that people keep pointing out. And I know this irritates you, so I'm going to mention it too, Chantal, because it is the truth. Do you notice that the women that have caused the most trouble with you in your relationships are beezers? Wasn't Didi a former beezer? She was. And she took Natter away from you. And Kai Bella was a loyal beezer for the longest. And she started talking up Salah. Do you notice the pattern? It's your beezers that are causing the most problem in your relationships. Didi took Natter away from you, and that was your fault because you chose to bring him to YouTube. You chose to make him his own page. You did the content, the thumbnails, the editing. You introduced him to the public eye. Had you not done that, Didi would never have known about Natter, never taken him away from you. But you were so desperate to have a male counterpart to your streams that you brought him onto the public, knowing that he was going to talk to other women, know that he liked to talk to other women. You chose to do that, and you lost him. The man that to this day you still think about. The man that recently popped up with new groceries and edibles and new clothes, from what I hear. Maybe that's the reason why you're in your car and eating off of gift cards, because you keep giving your money away to Salah and Natter, and you're broke. But it was the Beezers, your own Beezers, that did it. Not Girl World. Girl World did not break up your relationships. The Beezers did. I love that for her. You know, you didn't learn your lesson with Dee Dee. You got another man in your life. You put him on YouTube, and bam, it happened again. Well, you know, stupid is as stupid does.
So he was being open at that moment. So I believe he was being honest. So when I weigh the good versus bad, which is this one incident, I think
You know, Chantal, you say, I weighed the good versus bad. Obviously, that scale is broken, much like your own personal scale. It's broken. I don't think it's giving you the correct number there, Mama, but go ahead.
our love and marriage is worth saving. He is very sorry and is willing to make it up to me in every way possible for as long as it takes.
You know, and she warned him in that live stream. She warned him like what was coming. She told him. And Salah, you did not listen. You should have listened to her. She said, you do realize what this means. I'm going to be all over you. I'm going to be checking out all your accounts. I'm going to be in your face. She told you outright what to expect. And you're like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I have no problem with that, blah, blah, blah. You say that now because she's not there. It'll be a whole lot different when she gets back, if you let her back, if she can come back. She's going to drive you crazy, bro. Like, it's going to be really, really, really bad. Really bad. And I don't feel sorry for you, because you've been given many opportunities to cut this thing off. You could have just gotten your own job, gotten your own money, gotten away from Chantal, gotten your own independence, but you're just so goddamn lazy that you decide that you're going to take the free and easy life with the money and put your life and your purpose on hold just to get a paycheck so you can go out and party with your friends. Well, say goodbye to your friends. Say goodbye to your social life. Say goodbye to talking to anybody on the phone. Say goodbye to anything that sounds fun, because once she gets back over there, life is going to be far from fun. You're practically going to be a hostage in your own house. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything, can't talk to anybody without her approval. And once she gets back, I give it like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before he cracks.
I don't want to break up our family over this. This incident has revealed that we need to communicate better our intimate wants and needs and feelings. We will work on our personal marriage privately. Now, the amount of hate I've been getting over taking back my husband is just ridiculous and insane, if I'm being honest. So the key term I want to focus on is my marriage. MY space MARRIAGE. Not the internet's marriage. Not the hater's marriage, my marriage. Which means, other than this mishap, no one knows much about my marriage at all.
Chantal, we watch your videos. We watched the couple vlogs, no matter how boring they were. There was never any intimate energy between you two. It was so cringeworthy. And you can have your marriage if you want to, your fake online marriage if you wish. Play house with Salah if you want to. Paid for companionship is what it is. Have it. Have it. We're just here to react to it. We're here to give our thoughts, feelings, and opinions. We're here to report on the news. That's all. Have it. Have it, even though it makes you unhappy, keep having it. Be on the defensive about it. But we know the truth. We know how stupid this whole thing is. We know that he really doesn't love you. And honestly, you don't really love him either. It's just a narcissistic ego thing. And you refuse to swallow your pride. You can swallow a gnashly almost whole, but you cannot swallow your pride. You just don't have a throat big enough to swallow it. It sticks in your throat. And yet it would do you a world of good if you could swallow it and then just eat some humble pie right behind that. But you never will.
A lot of you are still speculating on whether we are even married at all or not. So it's safe to say that behind closed doors, no one really knows the dynamic and how we treat each other. Period. But I do, though. And I live my life. I share it, but in the end, I live it, and the only right you have is your opinion, which without the experience of living my life is not very credible.
Not wrong. That's where you're wrong. Do we have the experience of your life in your personal point of view? No. But here's where you get it wrong. Those of us that have been in relationships, real loving relationships, with real, honest, genuine, sincere partners who loved us and taken care of us, even those out there who never been in a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, people who just had friends. There's an intimacy in real relationships, an energy you pick up. And we can base what we see on what we know to be real. Real versus fake. You did say that all he has to do is fake love you and you will give him the world. Well, that's exactly what he's given you, is fake love. But fake love is not real love. And apparently fake love is very expensive versus real love, which is free. And real love is the real thing, and it's much more valuable. It is priceless. But as someone that I've had friends, and I have friends now, and I've been in relationships, and I've seen other people in relationships where the love is real, looking at the two of you, I know how incredibly wrong it is and how phony it is. Based on my life experience, it's all wrong. You even said yourself before you left Kuwait that things were not good between you and Salah. There were problems. So before you left Kuwait, there were issues, there were problems, there was some strife there, and that was before the scandal broke. So if there were problems before you left, and now there's this new problem, this embarrassing problem, what kind of life will you be living? What kind of life will he be living? There's going to be tension and stress all the way around. And we know what you do when you get stressed and worried, Chantal. You turn to food as your medicine. It's your go-to, which means you're probably going to gain more weight, which means you're going to get more unhealthy. So the environment is not going to be good for you nor for him. It's going to be disastrous.
I appreciate all your support, I really do, but when it comes to life, I have a right to make decisions that are fully my own. Salah is an amazing man, but he is also human, just like every one of you, though some, I'm not sure anymore, are actually human. I'm talking about Gore World. But anyway, he's not perfect. YouTubers are not perfect, far from it, and that's why you're even watching me. But I will tell you, if you're watching for a train wreck, you will be watching for a long time, because this train just keeps going. It hasn't stopped yet.
Ma'am, I hate to break it to you, but your train wrecked a long time ago. You're always looking for the angle of being a winner, yet you've already lost. You keep going against, say, FFG, trying to win against her. That battle was won by her like long ago. It's not a matter now of winning or losing. It's a matter of how much do you want to lose? How much can you stand to lose? You've already lost. You are that person sitting at a poker table. You keep losing hand after hand after hand. You're going full tilt. You're down to your last few chips, and yet you won't do the smart thing and just cut your losses and get up from the table and leave. You sit there and you just keep losing. So that train is already wrecked. Now we're just waiting for the final crash. We don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to happen. We don't know what's going to transpire. But you've already lost. Yeah, but you got to ask yourself, how much can you stand to lose? How much do you really have left?
I know you're hoping for a crash, but you know why it never happens? I have safety features, my friends. It's called God. And praying and giving my stresses to Him and appreciating bad moments and only thinking how I can grow from them. So, all in all, the good in our marriage greatly outweighs the bad. We have built a nice little life together as a pet family, and it's cozy and loving, but nothing and no one is perfect. And I am willing to look past this, provided it does not happen again. And like I said, if it ever did, I'm prepared to deal with the consequences. So going forward, I will mostly
And she
be
keeps talking about consequences. Like what are the consequences? What will you do? As soon as you find out, are you going to get a plane ticket and go back to Canada? No, you're not. Because if you went back to Canada, where would you go? Your family going to take you in again? I don't think they will. I think they're at wits' end with you right now. You have nothing to go back to. You're going to stay in Kuwait and stay in that apartment with somebody that if he cheats again, you know he's cheated. I can see constant fighting coming from that, like the uncomfortable atmosphere. You're not going to be a winner in this situation, Chantal. If you go back, you're not going to be the winner. You know this, yet you don't care.
doing content that involves close to no personal life stuff. I want to do videos on cooking, healthy, travel, and vlogs, and shopping hauls, and really becoming obsessed with being a new me. You know, boring stuff, I guess. Anyways, thanks for listening. I know most will not understand this decision, but you don't have to. For those who do and continue to support me, I thank you. I have seen comments of people saying they will stop watching me if I choose to save my marriage. Well, you are free to do as you wish, and so am I. Now, I want to touch on something important, actually. I know some people will think I'm weak for.
You know, like Chantal's coming out here saying, I know people have said they're going to stop watching me if I support this marriage, and you're free to do as you want. And you are. If you're on YouTube, you're free to do as you wish. You know why she's not worried? Because she buys subs. So if she loses 100 subs, she'll just buy 100 more.
For forgiving him. I gave this a lot of thought and realized that it actually takes a lot, and I mean a lot of strength, to go through the motions of forgiveness for something like this.
You know what, Chantal? I love the spin you're trying to put on this. You're trying to come off as this, it takes a really strong wife to deal with cheating and forgive it. But you know what takes even more strength? Being in a situation where you are not happy and you know you're not happy. And the person that you're with, they're not happy with you. They're not happy living with you. And you say to that person, hey, let's sit down and have a talk. Let's just put everything on the table. We tried it. We tried to live together. We tried to be together, and it's just not working. So let's just admit it that we're not happy and go our separate ways. Maybe we can still be friends, but we can agree to disagree. We can agree that we're different people and go our separate ways. And I wish you all the happiness in the world. And I hope that you do the same to me. And let's just part company. That takes growth. That takes strength to look truth in the eye and face it and say, this is no good for me and I'm out. Rather than hang on to a little bit of nothing, you let it go in favor of something greater. That takes strength. Stop trying to paint this picture of like, I'm the bigger, better person for forgiving him. No, you're weak. You are weak. This is not the first time that you found his wandering eye. He's on the third strike. The first time was the Red Room picture, Chantal. Do you remember that? When a picture came out of him in bed with another woman, a smaller woman, how much that upset you? The second offense was when you went through his phone and you found some stuff. Remember how you were mad about that? So that was strike 2. Now, all this stuff with Kai Bella, that's strike 3. So within a year, he's been caught 3 times saying and doing things that as a husband, he should not be doing. So how many times are you going to forgive him? Miss Strong Woman. How many times are you going to forgive a man doing these kind of things to you? And he knows there's no consequences. What are the consequences? The consequences are you're going to keep him on a short leash. You're going to be hyper vigilant about his accounts. There's no severe consequences here. You blew up at him and then you forgave him all within 12 hours. You're sending a message to this man that he can go out and say the most vile things to a woman, the most sexual things to a woman, and get away with it. It's not teaching him a lesson, except that he needs to be more careful. So he'll take that lesson and be more careful and be more discreet, but he's not going to stop what he's doing. And he's certainly not sorry for what he did. It's going to happen again.
It takes inner strength to control your emotions enough to think rationally about the situation and evaluate our relationship and its worth as a whole.
You don't have a relationship, you have a shit situationship. That's what it is. It's crap. It's absolute crap. The whole thing was crap from the beginning and it's crap now. And if you didn't have the money that you have, and if he weren't so wrapped around the fact that he wants someone to support him, he'd let you go in a heartbeat.
It takes strength to forgive someone for wronging you.
And it takes more strength to walk away, because sometimes the heart does not want to walk away. Sometimes the brain is in one area, the heart is in another. And I think that's on purpose, because the heart is where the emotion is and the brain is where your reason is. And some people, they let the emotions sit at the head of the table and rule their thoughts and rule their actions. But really, it should be reason that sits at the head of the table. Both the heart and the mind together are valuable and they are powerful. But the emotions feel. Emotions are powerful, but sometimes emotions are irrational and they don't contain reason. That's why you got to let reason rule. So it takes much more strength to have that attachment to somebody and walk away than to stay just because you don't want to feel lonely and you don't want to be alone. You don't want to grieve the loss of somebody exiting your life. It takes a heck of a lot of strength to get past all that. But you're weak. You want to stick around just because you don't want to be alone, Chantal. Tell the truth.
It takes strength to hold it together when everything is falling apart. Oh, and the big question here is, once a cheater, always a cheater? I don't believe so, because this is a term that has actually been debunked. But also, men can grow and change, and I'm hoping this is the case here. And
you know why she's so easy to forgive Salah? Just because she's got a history as being a cheater. Cheating on Bibi, cheating on Pete, being with a married man. I mean, she cannot approach Salah from the position of, I was never a cheater. I've never done that to somebody, because she certainly has. So if she has done that to other people, then it's going to be easier to forgive him with doing it to other people, just because she's guilty of it also.
If not, I'll deal, like always. Guess I'll find out eventually if my choices were a good thing. Actually, here are some facts that may shed some light on the situation.
She went straight to Google for this. So she's trying to find Google stuff to back up her thoughts. Infidelity affects 1 in every 2.7 couples, and most 65% to 70% stay together after. Most partners engaged in infidelity actually want to stay in their relationships. Okay, so there's your Google facts. But here's something that the Google facts don't cover. Those people that stay together, are things as they once were? Is the trust still there? Because I don't think it would be. Because once your partner has stepped out on you and you know about it, how can you trust them? Even if they never, ever do it again, it's always in the back of your mind, haunting you, gnawing at your every thought, wondering if they're looking at somebody, they're thinking about something, they're going to do something. You're never going to get 100% of that trust back, ever. Your heart may say thank you for staying, but your mind is going to be forever haunted by that probability that they're stepping out on you. So just because a couple stays together after infidelity doesn't mean they're 100% happy and they have 100% of that trust back.
Infidelity affects 1 in every 2.7 couples, and most, 65% to
So, and this is her rationalizing it, saying, oh, since infidelity affects 1 in every 2.7 couples, it happened to us, it's perfectly normal. No, it ain't.
70% stay together after. Most partners engaged in infidelity actually want to stay in their relationships. So it's not, again, a situation that's black and white. And unless you're living it and you are in this relationship, you don't really have a right to tell me what to do with my own life. Or even get...
do what you want to do, Chantal. Do as you wish. You always have anyway. You've never listened to anybody. You've never listened to anything that anybody in your audience ever advised you to do. You've never listened to your friends or your family. No one. Hence the reason why you keep making bad choice after bad choice after bad choice after bad choice, which has led you to the corner that you're in now, where you have nowhere else to go and you have no one to turn to. There's nobody. All of the mess in your life is self-inflicted. You put yourself in a very, very tight corner that even you can't pivot out of. And you have a talent for pivoting out of tight corners, believe me. Like you're trying to turn lemons into lemonade, but girl, them lemons are poison right now. So what you gonna do? But if you want to stay with Salah, stay with him. Go back to Kuwait. You're gonna be miserable. You're going to be doing mukbang after mukbang. You're going to be jealous. You're going to be insisting that he stay home all the time, never talk to anybody, never go anywhere. And he's going to go cabin crazy with the lack of freedom. He's tasting freedom right now because he's in Kuwait and you're not there. And he doesn't have to worry about 3 a.m. runs to go get your lakmas. But when you get back, all that free fun time is over. And he may be okay for a little while. But then when he starts to get that itch to go out to have fun, he's not going to be able to scratch it. And that's going to lead to a lot of fights and a lot of arguments. And like, look, if you go back, this whole situation is not going to last long. You have to know that. He's not going to put up with it forever.
I get personally affected by my decisions. We're not tight like that, okay? Anyway, I just really miss the Middle East and my family there. And I wish you all a happy new year and see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you in the next one. Look, Chantal, the mirror that you try to put in front of all of us of your happy marriage and your loving man, you do realize that that mirror is now broke, right? There's a crack in that mirror. And it's forever going to be there, and we're going to forever see it. And the reflection is forever going to be distorted. It's never going to be the same again. But if you are okay with cracked mirrors, then have at it. Have at it. Have all the misery and unhappiness that your little heart desires. We're just here to watch and react. That's all. All right. So that's it for this react. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful day and Happy New Year.